Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Kamusta na po kayo? How are you? I'm Pauline, and I'm a Filipino teacher here in Mission. I work in Abbotsford School District, and Abbotsford, as what I have said, is about an hour away from downtown Vancouver. Because there's no school, so I ended up doing what I usually do when I'm not at work. So today, I'm going to share with you my passion of baking. I love to bake, and that's what I need to relax, to distress myself. So, without further ado, wag na natin pahabain, I'm going to tell you what I'm gonna bake today. It's a sugar-free cookie, no flour cookie, and pretty much it's like a healthy cookie. So, I am going to tell you all the ingredients that we need. So this cookie recipe is my own recipe. I modified some of the recipes that I have seen online and recipes that my friends share with me. I love to eat treats. I love sugar, but recently my sugar is a little bit high. So I said, okay, wait a minute, I need to reduce my sugar intake. And typically sugar is really not good for you, as what I have read or heard from other medical professionals. My doctor specifically has told me that sugar is like a food for cancer. So again, I'm 53 years old and I'm trying to be conscientious of what I eat. So let me begin by telling you the ingredients for my baking today. You must be wondering how come I have kalabasa here. Kalabasa here in Canada is called kabocha or Japanese squash. This kabocha here is full of nutrients that will prevent inflammation, rich in fiber, and of course, it's rich in color, yellow color. Therefore, it's rich in vitamin A. Sa Pilipinas nga, what they said, if you eat kalabasa, you can see clearly and you will become smart too. So this is really good. So this kabocha squash will serve as my sweetener. So it's a natural sweetener that I will use. So I already cut up some pieces of it and I am going to clean it and then I'm going to boil it maybe for 5 minutes. So bear with me here. So what I usually do when I use my kabocha, I use this grapefruit spoon to eliminate the seeds. Para matanggal ang buto, malinis natin. Okay. That. Okay, so see, that's easy. Because sometimes it's annoying to clean the kalabasa, this kabocha. I discovered that this grapefruit spoon here is very effective to clean and work around with your kabocha. So I'm cutting it into cubes. little bit. So later on, you will be able to know why I have kabocha in my healthy cookie recipe. Again, some people, like my friend Laura, my colleague, she uses applesauce. But again, apples have lots of sugar. As what I have said, I was a little bit high in sugar, and I'm trying to avoid my sugar intake. My doctor has told me that sugar is really bad for you. It triggers to make your, of course, sugar high, tendency to have diabetic, and also it's a cancer food, right? So I have to be conscientious. Again, I'm 53 years old. Nag-iingat na ako sa mga kinakain ko. It's because I want to live a healthy lifestyle. So I am going to put this kalabasa here, kabocha squash, aka Japanese squash, into a pan. And I'm going to put a little bit of water in it. Okay. Just 1/2 cup of water. Okay, and then I'm going to boil it here. And while the kabocha squash is in the pot boiling, if you can see that, I am going to make an oat flour. So this recipe requires a 1/3 of kabocha squash and 2 cups of oat flour. In the past, I always make cookies using a regular flour. And then one of my friends told me, hey, you can use oat flour if you really like to eat treats. So I said, I don't know how to make oat flour. I have not seen it from the store. Ha ha ha. So I actually have to make it on my own. So here you go. I'm going to show you, and so easy. And it looks a little bit harder, but to be honest, it's not. So here, if you have already NutriBullet at home, the recipe calls for 2 cups of oat flour. And telling you, it's really easy to make an oat flour. When I got this oat flour from Costco, it's really cheap. Only like $8 for that bag when I went last time. So again, later on, if you keep on watching my YouTube channel, you'll be able to know how I save money as well in Canada, because here it's very expensive. Everything is really expensive. Okay, so that's just a side conversation. So here's my NutriBullet. I'm putting away the oat flour and just the regular NutriBullet, and just use a blade, and I just have to okay, ta-ra! I have my oat flour. So when you are just starting to bake, learning how to bake, usually you have to separate the dry ingredients from the wet ingredients. And I learned that when I was at school doing cooking with my students. My assistant, EA, did not really know how to bake. And she was just crazy mixing everything. And it was like, what? You cannot do that. So you always have to separate the dry ingredients from the wet ingredients. So my wet ingredients would be my kabocha, which is here, and it's boiling right now. So what else do I need? I also need 1/2 cup of regular flour on top of my 2 cups of oat flour. So again, oat flour is very healthy, rich in fiber as well, and it also helps lower down your cholesterol. So again, another secret here. I am getting older. I'm 53 years old. My doctor told me that my cholesterol is also a bit higher. So for me to reduce that cholesterol level, I am using oatmeal for that matter. So I added 1/2 cup of oatmeal. And let me adjust my camera here because I feel like my face is not showing. Bear with me. Okay, there you go. So I'm gonna mix this together. So there you are. I have an oat flour. So let's continue with the dry ingredients. We also need 1/2 cup of desiccated coconut. So this coconut here is unsweetened because we're trying to avoid sugar. So this is my desiccated coconut. So 1/2 cup. And again, my kabocha there is still boiling. It will take about 2 or 3 minutes. The coconut is high in calorie, so I only added just 1/2 cup of it. That's what you have seen here. And next is cranberry. So here's the original packaging of cranberry craisins. So they said that cranberry is a good antioxidant. It helps prevent body inflammation, has nutrients that they said it will prevent from getting urinary tract infection, aka UTI. So before I add this cranberry into my dry ingredients, I want it to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to use my pastry dough cutter here to make the cranberries a bit smaller than its original size. Kidoki. Medyo paliit-liitin natin para pag sinubo natin mamaya, hindi natin maramdaman ang matigas na cranberry. So I'm adding this cranberry into my dry ingredients right here. And then same with walnut. So they said walnut is the only nut that has high in omega-3, which is very helpful for those people like me who is aging, like me again. I'm 53 years old, to prevent heart disease because it's so rich in omega-3, and so it helps prevent heart disease. It also lowers down your cholesterol and has less sugar. So I'm gonna crush my walnut, and sorry, I smelled something, so I have to turn it back. I thought my kabocha, my kalabasa, it's burning, but actually it's not. I'm gonna check it. Mamaya-mayang konti. Okay. So because I love walnut, I added 1/2 cup. Oh, sorry, I think I added 1 cup. So when you bake cookies, most especially, you don't really need to be more conscientious or precise with your measurement. You know, sometimes if you like walnut, you can add more. If you like cranberries, you can add more. So you can always modify your recipe. That's who I am to make anything. I always modify it. And also because I love white chocolate chips. I know I said sugar-free, but there's no refined sugar. This will also help as a sweetener. So it's just a Hershey's, Chipettes, white chocolate chips. There you are. Almost there. So that's my dry ingredients. I'm gonna check. I think my kabocha squash is now soft, so I'm gonna mash it with just a potato masher. Okay, see, it's even steaming. I'm gonna mash it with a potato masher like this. Oh my god, it smells so good. Look at this. And I need 1 cup of this mashed Kalabasa, aka Kabocha. This is also used for a kabocha tempura in Japan. This is very famous because again, it's like a superfood. So try to research about kabocha and you will be surprised the nutrients and the benefits of this to our health. Ta-da! Look at that. Okay. And I need 1 cup of that. So I have a cup here. Perfect. Oh wow, perfect. So there's a little bit of leftover. And kabocha has good calorie. It's not like crazy loaded with calorie because I think for 1 whole kabocha here, it's about 220 calories and I only use 1/3. So 200 divided by 3, it's even less than 100, really less than 160 to 70 calorie right there for 1 cup. Okay, so I am going to grab a bowl for my wet ingredients. This is my wet ingredients now, so I'm gonna put away or put aside my dry ingredients. And we need 1 egg. And don't worry, I am going to post the full recipe and the step-by-step instruction how to make your own healthy cookies. Again, you can substitute your kabocha into an applesauce or anything that is sweeter and it will give your treats a good texture. So I need egg, just 1 egg. Okay. Oh, by the way, there was a recall of eggs here in Canada recently, and I went to the store and asked them if I can still use it, and they said my eggs are not part of the recall. So you can do your own research too. And I have to beat the egg with a fork separately. And I need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So this vanilla here is from Mexico. It's pure vanilla. And my student's mom actually gave it to me, full disclosure, when the family went to Mexico, including my student with autism. So yeah, at work, I build really good relationship with my parents and part of their family. And I will tell you more about that with regards to my job as a special education teacher. Okay, so that's that. And I also need silk oat. So this is very nutritious as well. No sugar. And cholesterol is also 0. So this is such a good substitute for butter, because butter is typically used to bake any treats, cookies, bread, butter, canola oil, or vegetable oil. So I use this as a substitute for my liquid ingredients, for my kind of like for the butter. Okay, so I need 1 tablespoon. Okay, and see how it turns out. And sometimes I may need more of this, and I will let you know how it will look, because we need to have a consistent dough, because we need to have a good consistency of our dough. Okay, so here you go. mix all my dry and wet ingredients together. And now we're gonna mix it. Okay. And for making cookies, you don't really need to worry about over mixing it or over beating it, because you want your cookies to be a little bit hard, right? And this one here has no flour, so it doesn't really going to be hard when you over mixed it, because we want a good dough consistency. There you are. Okay. Looks good. Okay. So because our kabocha, aka kalabasa squash, is not that liquidy, so I think I may add 1 more tablespoon of oat milk. Okay. And I will take that change, or I will note that into my full recipe later. Okay, so that's perfect now. Okay. There you are. So this recipe here will make about 24 tiny cookie with less than 100 calorie for each. But again, it's packed of great ingredients with lots of nutrients, low cholesterol for our oatmeal, no sugar, and pretty much it's just good stuff. So usually I would add flax seeds as well, but today I don't have flax seeds, so I'm thinking maybe I can just use this poppy seeds here, because I have one in my kitchen. So this is about 1/8 cup of poppy seeds, just to add a little bit of crunch and texture, you know, para medyo matigas-tigas siya pag kinain mo. And there you are, look, beautiful. So let me wash my hands, because I am going to make a dough. So let me wash my hands, because I am going to touch the cookie, and we want our cookie to be good. Now I have prepped the parchment paper, so always use parchment paper when you bake. That way it will avoid from burning. So there we go. So I usually add like 1 tablespoon of dough in each drop of my cookie. See that? I use this tablespoon, just like that. Okay, like that. You can see it. Okay, so every batch of baking it is a dozen. So the color is really rich. Look at that. Oh, I forgot to mention, because sometimes the kabocha squash here or kalabasa here in Canada is a bit pricey, and so you can also substitute it with pumpkin, because we have so many pumpkin here. You can just either bake it, mash it. So I did the boiling method because I feel like that's the fastest way to make this recipe. And I am also going to tell you some tips how to bake or use a kabocha squash, a leftovers kabocha squash right there, aka kalabasa. So look at that. And then I have to use the fork just to flatten it like that. Flatten it, flatten it, flatten it, flatten. Yeah, pa-flat natin para madali siyang maluto. Look at that, look at that. Okay, so that's my cookies there. And I preheated the oven for 375 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm gonna put it in the oven and I'm going to pause the camera kasi maghuhugas na ako ng mga plato ko at maglinis muna ako. Okay, and here you go. It's baked for 375 degrees for about 14 minutes. Timer is on. So I finished cleaning my kitchen, and remember, as what I have promised, I'm going to share with you some of the things that you can do with your kalabasa, with your kabocha. So this healthy vegetable here again is loaded with lots of antioxidants, fiber, and all that. So what I usually do with this, I make like a tempura, and then I cut it into strips, like small strip, kind of like potato fries, yam fries, but I use kabocha instead. So like that, and I make it like a strip. Okay, see. Okay, one more. So I think this kabocha here is from Thailand. So it's actually been in my countertop for 3 weeks, I think. And they said the more you store the kabocha, the sweeter it will get, right? Tumatamis siya. Okay, so look at this. I have like a small batch of kabocha fries. So I drizzle it with olive oil here on a plate, and I just put pepper, or sometimes I just put olive oil, so we can put pepper there. You see me though first, and then I am going to put it in the air fryer for about 12 minutes. Just good for snacking, taking to work. Snacks at work is good. And then look at that. And I will air fry it for about 10 minutes. Air fry for about 10 minutes for 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And I believe that my cookies are almost finished. 13 seconds left. sorry about the air fryer. The sound of the air fryer is a little bit loud. And there you are. And here's our delicious, healthy, no flour, no sugar cookie. Okay. Oh, it's perfect for 14 minutes. Here. And here. And I'm going to put it into the put it into the dry rack. You can see it. Oh, I can smell the coconut and the almonds, not almonds, sorry, walnut. Try it. It's a little bit hot. And then I'm going to just reuse my parchment paper, okay, to make another dozen of cookies. And by the way, this is only 93 calories. Okay. Ready na kayo? So good. So now I can eat two for about 180 calories because each cookie has 93 calories, and I will not be feeling guilty that I'm eating these sugary treats because, again, as you see, there was no sugar added to this cookie. And again, it's sweet, really good. The white chocolate chips added its sweetness and flavor as well. Now I need my tea. Again, it's a snow day. We have no school. We can relax at home. I can have my tea. It's almost tea time. And the walnut also added to its sweetness. And you know, I take this walnut every day for my snacks at school. Again, walnut has high in omega-3 and it's really good for lowering down your cholesterol. And now my dog smells my cookie here. Let's see. But you will not get any. Sorry, Kobe. Really, really good. I think I will eat two more with my tea. Very shortly, I'll do that. But anyways, I hope you enjoy my baking today. This is part of my daily experience that I will be sharing with you throughout this channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe to my channel and like my video. Click that like button if you like it. Maraming salamat sa inyo kung mag-subscribe kayo, makakatulong ito sa akin. And also, you know, inspiring our kababayan about being a teacher here in Canada. And in my future uploads, I will be sharing with you, I promise, I will be sharing with you my day at work. Unfortunately, today is not a good day to do that. But guess what? We have a very good time here. I was able to make a delicious, no flour, no sugar cookie with our famous Kalabasa as our kind of like agent to make it stick together. Instead of butter, I use the mashed kabocha, kalabasa, and oat milk. So, sa uulitin. And again, I'm gonna show you, before I forget, I'm gonna show you our kabocha that I said things to do with our kabocha squash here. It's not that ready yet, but the thinner one is ready. Almost done. It's actually done. This one. So sa uulitin ulit, again, my name is Pauline, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you like it, if you like my video, if you want to leave comments about things that I will be making or things that I can upload next, please let me know. Leave me a comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.